So let's see this very interesting group. We will start as usual with an introduction about the group in nature. And then we will go on with some information about reptiles and amphibians in homeopathy, and then we will see two really beautiful cases.
So, what I told you that it's very important to understand in amphibians related to the pathology, what we are treating many times, or we can treat, it's a tissue regeneration. Because they have a wonderful talent that how they can regenerate their skin and their properties, what they have. So all urodal amphibians, like newts and salamanders, have pronounced regenerative properties. In frogs and toads, the regenerative capacity is present in the larva stage, gradually diminished during development. So you see that the frogs at the early age, they can regenerate, reproduce some parts of their body, and they are forgetting. But salamanders and newts are having this talent through their adult ages. But among anorans, so this Xenophus lavis is the one with the greatest regenerative capacity. Let's go to understand a little bit wider in homeopathic point of view, the big group where the amphibians are belonging to, because I told you that in a zoological point of view, amphibians are one group and reptiles are other groups, so they are different. But if we see our materia medica, and if we see the symptoms of the amphibians, mind, physics, but especially mind, and do the comparison with other reptile groups, we understood that amphibians are not an individual group, but amphibians is a group that belongs to a much bigger group that we can call reptiles. We will see a key issue that every reptiles, including amphibians, are suffering from. So this idea, this main issue is appearing in a different way, how they can deal with this issue through amphibians till the turtles. So the key issue in reptile to how to keep up the precocity in the adult ages in a dependent relationship, because they need a relationship. They cannot stay alone as a fish. So let's see amphibians in homeopathy. What does it mean, self, in amphibians? So the self is split. They want to behave as the society is expecting from them, but it's hard because their moral is completely different. So the position, what I told you, that how they are keeping up the relationship is because of power and money. So they want to be always the king, the most powerful person. Isolation, especially in the second phase of their pathology, because to show up always the power, to show up always that I'm the king and I have a lot of money, after a time it becomes boring and it becomes heavy to them. So abandoned. Why they feel themselves abandoned? Because they have this delusion that they are dirty people. But why they are dirty? Because they are not fitting in the society. They are different. So it's not that they are dirty because they didn't take a shower since a year. They are dirty because of their thinking, the emotion, because of their very increased sweating, especially when they are excited. So during excitement, during the night, while they are sleeping, and the most important part of the body that it's affected mostly by sweating is the head. They have several mental development problems. They can have brain sclerosis. We saw many times that amphibians, it's a remedy in idiocity. We can treat violent convulsions with amphibian remedies. And also we see in amphibians a sudden unconsciousness. So these are the essentials that are not rubrics. These are essentials that describe the whole subgroup of amphibians in homeopathy in general.
Okay, so let's see the first case. So this is a patient that I saw the first time in June 2016, a 32 years old man, and he came with some problems, hypothyroidism, sciatica, and especially trigeminal neuralgia. So let's start from the appearance. He's not the patient, but it's not so different from the patient. So he was 32, but I had the feeling that I'm looking to a 16 years old boy with a minimal facial hair. This sweetish saliva is causing me a kind of disgust. But he also told that disgust is something that he has always suffered from. He said, I'm feeling easily disgusted. Although I did not like being with others, I was never shy. In fact, I often undressed myself in the kindergarten. About fears. And he told me, maybe it's related to disgust, but I'm afraid of infection and contamination. Okay, so very quickly, I will show it again. Do you see now? Yes. Okay, so I realize it's not completely normal. He was laughing over serious matters, very slow in movements and in speaking. And he started to use words not really noble, and he started with sexual allusions. And he told me, I like music, animals, and above all, mathematics. I said, oh my God. And I thought, I cannot believe it. He can do multiplication in his head that I cannot even do with a calculator. So this is what we call idiot savant. So the term idiot savant is an obsolete term in psychology for savant syndrome, where a person with neurological disorders or brain injuries displays exceptional skills in a specific field. So this time the remedy acted. I didn't have to find another amphibian. So in the new synthesis, we have 2,742 rubrics. And let's see the 8 essentials. mental retardation and childish behavior. This you are finding very often in Buffo. Buffo is the typical idiot savant, person with neurological disorders or mental retardation that displays exceptional skill in a specific field. Don't forget that Buffo is going very strongly in differential diagnosis with barium carb and the barium salts in general. But there are some differences, especially related to sex. Then in the second phase, we are seeing what is happening in amphibians, the desire to be alone, far from company, living in isolation and hiding. And feel shame when there is a huge social punishment and restriction. We know that Buffo is a very important remedy in neurological complaints, especially epilepsy. But think of amphibians. Think of this neurological tropism, which is the disease that is coming into your mind. Convulsions with tonic and clonic spasms and skin. Skin is very important in Buffo. Boils, carbuncles, eczema, erysipelas, herpes, impetigo, pemphigus, psoriasis, vesicles, every kind of skin problems you can find in this remedy.